So now we do know from our reading that there are 8 primitive data types or different data types in Java that are predefined and primitive for you that are in Java. And we know there are bytes, shorts, ints, longs, floats, doubles, booleans, and chars. And with respect to ints and shorts and longs, these are referring to integers. So you're able to look at integers and use integers in your programming for a number of different things. And when it comes to using decimals or fractional numbers, floats and doubles is what you're going to use. So what we're going to do for this exercise, we're going to really focus on ints and talk about a little bit about some of the operations you can do with ints and some of the arithmetic things you can do with ints. So what we're going to do is go back here and go over to IntelliJ, wherever you have IntelliJ opened, and go to our course project, open up the project that we've been working on. And so let's talk about ints and what can we do with ints? Like what kinds of things can we do? And let's kind of put this into practice, if you will. So let's go ahead and pretend as if we're going to calculate the scores from a game. So let's go up here first to our SRC folder, a source folder. We can right click on it and right click on it, go to new and then Java class. And we're going to name this class and this file game. Name this class game and hit OK. And of course, it's going to generate a new class game for us. And so what can we do here? So let's go ahead and pretend like we're going to calculate the score of a game as we add up the points at the end of each quarter. And that'll help us be able to use some ints. And we know that for points in a basketball game, let's say, or in a game, they're going to pretty much be integers. They're not going to be floats or doubles. They're not going to be decimal numbers. They're going to pretty much be integers, right? So let's go ahead and add up a couple, create a couple of variables and fields to do that. So first we're going to go ahead and have the keyword int, which stands for integer. And let's put this point scored. I'm just going to put first quarter. So we know that's in the first quarter. And let's give us a little bit of these are going to be variables to hold point scored. And we'll say team A. Just say team A. So points scored for the first quarter, and I'll go ahead and hit put a semicolon there. And let's go ahead and do the same thing, int, and I can just copy this part right here and make this second quarter. Do the same thing here, make this an integer, an int. We'll make this third quarter. And so now we can go ahead and begin to structure what we want this to look like. And we'll say fourth quarter lastly. And so these are points scored in each quarter, and we're going to be able to calculate that and do some arithmetic, some addition on that. And this is going to be for team A. So let's say we wanted to also look at the integers and the point score for team B, because we're going to take a look at the whole thing. I'm going to go ahead and just copy this whole thing and say team A. I'm just going to put in team B. That way we'll be able to tell them apart. We can give it a little bit of a difference here. Team B. And put that at the end of each one. So now we have our integers set up. We can do some things now with these, and the system knows, Java knows these are going to be numbers, and they have a very big range for integers. These are going to be numbers, and we want to do something with them, and that's kind of what data types helps us do, looking at it in this way. We want to do something with these numbers, and we're probably going to add them. That's what we're going to do. And so now let's go ahead and create our behavior. Void, let's get calculate scores. How about that? Calculate scores. It's going to return, it's going to be void. We're going to go ahead and give it its opening and closing braces. And so this is going to actually give us our method here for the action that we want our program to do, right? So it's going to actually calculate scores. So right here, what we're essentially going to do, we're going to go ahead and do system. We'll just do a very simple program, system.out.println. And we're going to go ahead and fill in a statement that will help calculate the scores for the end of the game for team A and TB. So we're going to go, the final score was, and we'll put like a little comma here, team A. We'll make sure we put our little space right here in between that. And let's go ahead and add in a formula for this. And so in order to do that, we want to essentially add in the points for the first quarter, the second quarter, the third quarter, and the fourth quarter, and add them up all together. In order to do that, I'm going to go ahead and put this all in parentheses so that the system will know to do it all in parentheses. And I'm just going to do points, and it'll give it to me right here, first quarter. I want that. Plus, and it'll start to give me second quarter. I want that. Plus, it'll give me the third quarter right here, third quarter. Plus, and let's do points for the fourth quarter. So we have right here, Team A, points scored, first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. And we're going to go ahead and add this, concatenate this to another string. And Team B, I'm going to go ahead and put a comma and a space right there. I'll just make that a comma. And we can go ahead and do the same thing. We're going to just go ahead and add up. I'm going to put them in parentheses. And I'm going to start to do points for Team A, for Team B. Their first quarter points. We'll do their second quarter points. Their third quarter points, and we'll do lastly their fourth quarter points. So there we have our statement for Team B. First quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, first quarter, all the way there, all the way down from first to fourth, and our whole statement. And I can actually wrap this and make this all kind of go in a wrap as well if I wish to. I'm having it be a little long there, but I can actually wrap that. And so now I have our points scored, and I have everything there. So what I could do is, I'm gonna go ahead and make that smaller. What I can do is I can actually assign values to these if I want. So let's say I wanted to go ahead and assign values to these. So right now I've declared the variable, I've defined the variable. We have them for Team A, and these are going to be, these are the variables to hold the points for points scored. Team B. We have the variables for each of them set up right here. I can go ahead and assign them if I wish to. We've defined them already. We have them set up, but I can go ahead and add values to them and go ahead and assign them and give them actual value. So I'll say 21, which is an integer, right? And let's say they had a really good second quarter, and they scored 32. And then we'll go ahead and just fill in some numbers here, whatever we want that to be. And I'll just say 45. They had a really good game, right? And so then points for Team B, I'll make that be whatever. They had a really good game. That's why I'm putting points, whatever I want this to be, right? They scored 2 points in the second quarter, which was not a very good quarter for them. 90, I'm putting numbers here, just making up stuff. So we can really just put in whatever we want to put in, whatever, it actually would be. Let's say 78. So these are the point score. And in Java, the system's going to do the calculations for us. We now have all our points or integers assigned. We have values assigned to them. We didn't just declare them. We actually assigned values to them. And we can actually call this and use this in our main method. So we know we need our main method in order to be able to run something, right? Public static void main. We need our string. I'm going to go ahead and put that there. Args. Let's go ahead and put our opening and closing braces. And we're going to go ahead and create an object for a new object for this class game to go ahead and calculate these scores. So let's go ahead and put game, and let's just put final score. How about that? Final score. And I'm going to say equals new game, which we know is our class name and how we declare an object. So I'll go ahead and put that in there. And so final score equals new score, and I'm going to go ahead and associate this new variable that we set up, this final score, and I'm going to go ahead and associate that dot calculate scores. So final score dot calculate scores, and this should go ahead and calculate for us and generate for us which team had the highest score, which team won the game, so to speak. So let's go ahead and hit run. You're going to see the areas of program. Let's go ahead and run for this. Hit run in our system and let it build and parse down here. Oh, so it didn't build anything because I have to go ahead and take this out. Let's take that out. Go back to game. Let's let it build and parse here. And so there you go. So here you go. It calculated the final score for us. The final score was Team A 132 points and Team B 257. So that's a lot to score in a basketball game. And what I could do if I wanted to, I could also go up here to View and hit Activate Editor and hit either use soft wraps or not use soft wraps. So it kind of goes out long right here. So this is not using soft wraps, but in IntelliJ, what you can do, and most IDs will let you do this, there's a way that you can find to edit it and wrap the word. So this way you can kind of see everything within the window. So I can do that as well. So here you go. Here you have your first program. We've used integers and you've actually calculated the points scored by each team in a game. You actually calculate this point score. So play around with this, change the numbers if you will. And now what we're going to do, we're going to go and get some more practice with integers and adding, multiplying, subtracting, and dividing integers.